Really pleased to be joined now by Blue Jays hitting coach Kevin Seitzer. Great to meet you.
Nice
Welcome
to meet you.
to Toronto.
Thank you.
You have a history with manager John Gibbons dating back to Kansas City. How has that relationship helped you acclimate yourself to the new organization?
It's been great because Gibby and I mean, we worked together for a couple years, and he knew what I could do, and I know how his personality is and expectations and all of that going in. So, you know, we had a great relationship, tremendous. He's a great human being, and he's easy to work with. So he lets me do my job, and you know, we talk about things and expectations, what he has for the offense, and then try and make it happen.
Speaking of your job, you're being introduced to a whole new group of hitters. Tell me what that process is like. How do you start getting to know each and every one of them?
You got to take it slow at first and just, you know, get to know the guys, have conversations around the cage, and, you know, get to know them, who they are as people, and then as you watch them work and do their pregame stuff and their batting practice and see what their tendencies are, and you know, after about 5-6 days of that, then I'd start asking some questions and, you know, taking that and comparing it to what I saw on video during the off season, what happens in games, and you just try and get in their head as quickly as possible as to, you know, what they think about, what their approach, their plan, what makes them tick, and then we start making adjustments off of that if they're necessary.
And speaking of approach, I think we all know these gentlemen can hit a baseball. In the big leagues, what is your approach as far as the younger hitters and your approach to the veteran hitters?
Well, you know, approach at the plate can vary from hitter to hitter, but you know, the approach that I take as far as, you know, incorporating some adjustments in is after I get to know them and what makes them tick, and you know, things that make them good and deficiencies that they may have, where they're vulnerable in different counts, different pitchers, things like that. You know, you start making some little suggestions, but the approach that you want to bring into the game is just, you know, doing what you can do to be able to have a consistent swing path and be able to cover up holes and then hunt the pitch that you can drive right there. So you always have a plan, you have an approach, and then you make adjustments off of that. And those are three things that you want to help guys to do very quickly to get them back on track when things start to break down.
You've got a talented bunch here, Kevin. Has there been one or two guys that's kind of taken you back and really impressed you?
Just about the whole lineup, to be honest. I mean, I'm not just saying that either. I mean, there's so much talent up and down this lineup. It blows me away. And just, you know, but there's things that you can see that flare up, and you know, as the games have been unfolding, I've been making notes and kind of watched the first 10-12 games, and then started having, you know, little one-on-ones. And I had one group meeting about 4 or 5 days ago and talked about adjustments and, you know, just trying to get the guys to incorporate some new things that they may have when they get certain counts, you know, approach and things like that, making adjustments when they're down in the count, 2 strikes, and you know what the pitchers are trying to do. We talk about the at-bats, how they unfold, and you know, just try to do the things that give them a chance to square the ball up consistently. So it's been fun.
Speaking of impressive, before I let you go, I want to ask you about one Cameron Seitzer, who's a prospect for the Tampa Bay Rays, and your son hit a home run against the Blue Jays at a spring training game. Tell me what's going through your mind. Are you the proud papa, or are you the disappointed opposition?
You know, it was a game too that we were losing, and so when he got into the game, I mean, number one, he's in minor league camp, and it was just such a classy move by Joe to bring him over to be on the bench, and I was hoping he might get into the game just to be able to see him in pro ball and on a big league field. And you know, it was tremendous because Gibby sent me out, which was another great move, to coach first base when he went on defense. And so being able to stand out there, and you know, I walked out and I go, "What's up, bud?" And he turns around and he goes, "What's up, Pops?" I'm like, man, this is awesome. So when he got to hit, it was kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. I just want to see him having it bad. I didn't expect anything too great, and when he clicked it, I was like, oh man, the dad took over. My heart started beating. I got goosebumps all over.
You're getting all emotional right now, Kevin.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty special because, you know, he's the reason that I retired. And just to go home and be able to coach my boys and be able to help them, and You know, he was 7 years old when it all started, and he wasn't very good. He was a late bloomer, and you know, he's defied a lot of odds, and to be able to get to where he did and do what he did, it was pretty special for me.
Well, we all look forward to seeing one Cameron Seitzer in the big leagues one day. Who knows?
Hopefully. Never know.
Who knows? The Tampa
Never
Bay
know.
Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays at Rogers Center with you there in Cam. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Kevin Seitzer, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We look forward to talking to you throughout the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.